Hello there, I'm back. And today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. This is not going to be like a full on review, it's going to be more of an in depth discussion on why I like Ghost in the Shell. Now, when I say I like Ghost in the Shell, basically, if it wasn't for Ghost in the Shell, I wouldn't be talking right now making videos on my YouTube channel. I really wouldn't. So I want to take it back. It's to December 2010, when yours truly was just a naive 18-year-old at the time who was just discovering a lot of things, and has also just started his second year of college. Now, I was not the big anime fan that I was at the time. I should say at the time. I was just well, actually, I wasn't really watching anything. I think the only thing I'd ever seen was anything I'd grown up, and I think a couple of Street Fighter anime movies. That was about it, really, if I'm honest. And I'm out for a family meal. My cousin starts talking about certain anime, like they're talking about Pokemon at first, and I was saying, "Well, that's probably the only anime we've all seen." And I didn't, and I said I'd seen like the Street Fighter anime movies, like I said. And he asked if I'd seen Ghost or heard of Ghost in the Shell. Now, I had heard of the film at the time, but I hadn't seen it. When I said heard about it, I'd seen like PSP UMDs of it. Yes, this is how long ago we are at this point. And he says if I like The Matrix, I'd really like Ghost in the Shell. Now, at the time, I actually did like The Matrix then a lot. Nowadays, I don't think it's held up as well anymore, especially if you compare it to Ghost in the Shell. So, yeah, it's like Ghost in the Shell. I was like intrigued. So, the next day, I went out into town and I bought a copy of it. The actual copy I'm actually holding in my hands right now, the Hangar Entertainment DVD release of it. And really, when I saw it, like, this caught my eye. So I went home, threw it on, watched it, and I was like, that was good, I guess. I guess I didn't fully understand the film at the time. So I thought, oh, it's not bad. So a couple of days later, celebrate the new year, blah, 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 blah. So I think it was about a week or so, or maybe just under later, I was sitting in college, and I think for some weird reason, and it's the weirdest experience I've ever had in my life, one of them, just suddenly out of nowhere, I'm hearing the opening theme making of a cyborg in my head. I don't know why, but for some reason it just kept going. I must sound like a crazy man, but I just wouldn't leave my head for some reason. I thought, why is this? I thought I'll watch it again, and I'll see if it'll go away. So I threw it on again, and if I'm honest, the second time, I think the first time I didn't pay much attention, especially because I was trying to skim through the first time because I had stuff to do that night. So I thought I'll just get through it quickly. And watched it properly, paid attention to everything, and I was as much as I could, and I was like, "Wow, why wasn't I paying this much attention the last time I was watching it?" I was flabbergasted. I was like, "Wow, this film's really good," and amazingly, it did actually make Never Cyber go out of my head. I was like, "Wow, this is really good." Then I remember again about I think it was about a month or two or so later. When I was first starting up my YouTube channel, when I was still trying to work out what I wanted to do for it, and this was a long time ago still, I posted a video of my top 10 movies of all time. Now, I thought I'm going to probably put Ghost in the Shell in it. And it ended up actually, I think, yeah, this is the best film I've ever seen. And it was number one. And 8 years on, it still is. Now, probably wondering, what makes Ghost in the Shell so good then? Well, there's a lot of things. One, it was one of the very first films I ever watched that made me think. I've been intellectually challenged by a movie for the first time, which honestly at the time nothing had done that to me. Maybe because I was more of an action guy, which I actually thought this film was just going to be, if I'm honest. How wrong I was. I mean, it did have its action, it did have its really good action scenes, but it's all the philosophical meanings and everything and all the themes. It's just like, it's just so different. I know probably people think, oh, why didn't you watch Blade Runner? It probably does the same thing. That might be the case, and I would agree it does do things probably a little bit better, but it doesn't. It has one thing that Ghost in the Shell has greatly: atmosphere. Which again, you probably think, oh, you could probably watch a horror thriller with atmosphere. Not like this, in my opinion. And as a big, massive fan of sci-fi, anyways, I thought this could be it would be up my alley, and it was. Was the sci-fi I was used to at the time because I'd seen Blade Runner, I'd seen every Star Wars, and etc. etc. But I say, and also one thing also that really struck a chord with me with Ghost in the Shell was the characters. Was the character of the Major. Man, she's just. I know she's like. A lot of people say she's not that interesting. She's like she's a blank slate, but that's the point. Going from looking at her exponential. Oh, sorry, exponential. Her crisis in the movie of like not knowing what she is, what she thinks is real. Is she real? That's what she's thinking the whole time. It's just like it really could have something with me. Maybe think, God, it must be really hard for a person to. Like, could that really happen to like a cyborg in the future when we get to that? If we ever get to that future, I mean, I don't think we'll get to it when this film was set, which I believe, looking at the box I'm holding, 2029. Yeah, I can't really see the world being like this 11 years from now, but you never know. And then they got the character of Bato, who's just a badass. Like the Major, they're both badasses. But he's more of a how can I put this right? He's more sensitive, I would say, than the Major is. You'd be surprised how many times in the movie he covers the Major's nakedness. The Major, because you can tell the Major has kind of no sexual identity because the amount of times she has to use her invisibility to sneak up on people. She does it 3 times in the movie, and after each time, Bato always takes his coat off and covers her. What? Oh, sorry, not the first time, the second time, and the third time he does. So he clearly has something he clearly cares about. He doesn't want people to see her naked for some reason. I don't. Hard to figure out it. Apart from the fact he clearly does love her, it's kind of obvious, especially at the end of the film. And that's the kind of character I like in anime. And everyone else is great, great in the film. I mean, the plot also was nothing like I'd ever seen in anime. You know, as an AI and brought up in this, goes rogue, becomes self-aware. And because of ways major questions the major also more on how can like an AI become software? Doesn't AI have a soul, or in this case, a ghost? Which it shows that it doesn't have a ghost, but there is signs that it might have a ghost. It's all questions, all these things in your mind if it's real or not. I find fascinating. I really do. And then the one massive big star I think is the best thing about the movie. It is the soundtrack score by Kenji Kawai. My God, it is beautiful on the ears. It has got some of those memorable tracks I have ever heard in any film possible. From the opening Making of a Cyborg to my personal favourite score, Floating Museum. Now, Floating Museum is also played in what I would consider the greatest scene ever put to film. It is the scene where the Major takes on the tank, and it is unbelievable. It's so ridiculous. It's just the music, the atmosphere, and the action that's going on at the same time. Plus, it's in a museum where I believe it has, I forget where the end, one of the last shots, and is of the Tree of Life and everything. It's just wow. It gives me goosebumps every time. I said the score for Floating, especially at the end where the Major's trying to, infamous scene where the Major's trying to rip open the tank's lid to get the pilot out of it, and it goes so long, and then she bang, her arms come off and her legs come off, everything because she can't open it. It's just like the struggle and everything. It's just so powerful. And how do you end this scene so great? That's right, Bato comes in with a massive gun and blows the tank to shit. Yay, amazing. So I guess I may as well try and sum up the movie quickly while I can. Ghost in the Shell, like I say, there's nothing like it. There have been sequels, and of course you've had the TV series, and of course there was a live action film. I may as well touch on them quickly while I'm here. The sequel itself, I like Innocence as a sequel, but I think the biggest complaint a lot of people had about it was too much philosophical than the original, which I would probably agree it is a bit too much. And also, the biggest complaint I've ever heard actually is that it's the CG is a bit iffy, kind of like 2.0, no CG. And I don't think it's that bad, but it's not great. It hasn't held up that well. Well, but I still think it's. I think if it was called anything else, it would go down as a better film than what it is, which is a shame. The TV series, I think the TV show is fantastic. Stick. It's people say it's dumbed down, but that's probably a good thing because it's trying to get to broader audiences, isn't it? And I think it's a good cop show. And Solid Society is not a bad sequel to that either. But then there's a rise in the live action film. Now, I'm not going to talk about a rise because I'm actually going to plan to review that at some point. Now, the live action film, I didn't have many issues with it. I thought it was a decent film. I thought Scarlo did a decent job as the Major, if I'm honest. Yeah, it was a bit dumbed down, and some things would change. I know there's a thing about the whitewashing thing, but I think they went around that. Wasn't It was not a bad idea. It was decent enough. It kind of played into the fact of that the Major's body may not have been what her original body would have been in the first place. So it kind of makes sense in a way. See the movie, see what you think. But it still doesn't hold a candle to the original. As I sit here now, holding the DVD in my hand, I think I didn't think you were that great at first, but now couldn't live without you. And since I've also bought the film on Blu-ray, which if you get the chance to, I seriously recommend buying the movie on Blu-ray. It looks amazing, even 23 years later. I mean, I don't think there's many anime films that's non-Ghibli or Redline, anyways, that could hold a candle to how good Ghost in the Shell looks. It was how good cell animation was at the time, and still can be. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's more time consuming." That might be the case, but you got some great looking stuff. That's it. Production IG, when it comes to doing sci-fi anime shows, they know what they're doing, and sci-fi anime films, it's the best. I guess there's not much more else I can say. No, I think I've gotten everything I need to tell you about Ghost in the Shell. Man, just get so nostalgic talking about Ghost in the Shell. It's better than talking about the shit I've been talking about most of the time on this channel. So I guess that's it for now. Just hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, and also drop a like if you need to. And also leave a comment. I would like to hear comments of what people think about Ghost in the Shell. What do you think? Do you think it's a great movie? Movie like I do? Maybe you have different opinions. I'd straight away say you were wrong, and I'd let you know that. But let me know your opinions. And I'll see you all next time, and with a possible another big discussion video. What will that be? Well, I can definitely say it's another 90s classic that also, like Ghost in the Shell, needs to be seen to be believed.